Friday Night Lights at CSM. It's the Menlo Park Legacy taking on Bercovich Honors, a battle for first place in the BACL. I'm Nate Martin. Today I'll be joined once again by our stats man, Victor Martinez. Victor, how are we doing?
Doing great. How are you, Nate?
Excited for the Legacy's first home game in a long time. First pitch from Munguia is high for ball one.
Yeah, like you mentioned, we haven't really seen the Legacy in a couple of days, so good to see these guys back out. Always have the best energy, especially with head coach Nick White at the helm.
Always bring the energy from the dugout. It's contagious up in the field. It's contagious up here in the press box, as that is fouled off to even things up 1-1. On the bump today is Jesus Munguia, who's been one of the best pitchers for this team this season.
Yeah, he's been one of the best guys out there for Nick White's ball club. We saw him last time out go 7 innings, complete game shutout. You're going to see him feature a 5-pitch mix, fastball, slider, curveball, sinker, and changeup. Mainly, though, you're going to be seeing the fastball and the slider. The other 3 pitches he will throw in there sparingly.
That was the fastball right there, 89 on the gun from Munguia.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy that will be able to run it up there the most out of any of the Legacy pitchers.
The batting right now for Bercovich Honors is Horacio Buccio, the second baseman. On deck is Karsten Pearson. 3-2 pitch now. Munguia already got himself into a full count. That is fouled off by Buccio. Count remains 3-2.
Yeah, you see him just trying to jam the hitter right there on that sinker. You see 87 miles an hour on the gun, courtesy of our track man. Just was able to spoil it off Buccio.
So we'll run back the 3-2 pitch for Munguia. As that is fouled off once again. Buccio not going down without a fight. As you go ahead longer and longer in these at-bats, you're already first hitter faced. It's a long at-bat. What's going through your head as the pitcher?
Well, if I'm the pitcher here, I need to sit this guy down as soon as possible. I mean, go on to the next batter and just get the out like he did right there.
The sun is shining bright in left field. A little bit of a collision between Baker and Bittner, the left fielder and shortstop respectively, but Baker comes down with it for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, we saw this last time during the the Legends game where there was a play in right field where they didn't really use communication. I think same thing happened there for the Legacy.
Sun is shining bright right now. Very little shade, only in deep left field. Forced to start games here a little earlier because the no field lights at CSM. And so consequentially, the outfielders have to deal with the sun shining bright in their eyes. 1-0 to Pearson. Misses the zone, 2-0.
Yeah, he's missing the zone right there, but I think those are 2 great pitches. I feel like they missed by maybe a couple of inches. The umpire doesn't give him the call, but 2 great pitches from Munguia right there to start this at-bat.
Yeah, 89 on the gun there from the fastball. 2-0. Hit high into right field. Tracking is Daniels. And makes the second out of the inning. Let's go through the Bercovich order right now. It was Buccio and Pearson to start things off. Now batting, third hole hitter, it's Jake Cross, followed by Malachi Francois, Michael Olson, Ben Johnston batting 6th, Caden Shaw 7th, James Gracer 8th. Closing things out, the pitcher and DH, Max Cohen. Swing and miss from Cross makes it 0-1 here. Munguia, it's kind of the first swing and miss we've seen from him all day.
Yeah, and that's where he wants to pitch, up in the zone with his fastball. It's a fastball that has a pretty good ride to it. He's a pitcher that comes in from a lower slot, so he's definitely going to get swings and misses at the top of the zone right there.
Goes to the fastball again, this time a little lower in the zone. Brings it to 0-2. Calling the signs for Munguia is Ethan Payne. 0-2 comes, misses the zone. Brings it up to 1-2. And if you're the Bercovich Honors lineup, it's not used to your seeing 90 in this league.
Yeah, this league is not really known for its velocity, but we're seeing a lot of heat from the Legacy starting pitcher this evening.
1-2 comes, hit hard into center field. That will be a 2-out single from Cross. First hit allowed all day for Munguia.
And Nate, that's an unfortunate hit right there. An 0-2 count with 2 outs. You're trying to put the guy away, and he just fights one off into center field.
15,
And a great piece of hitting at that. 93 off of the bat across. Brings up the third baseman, Francois. Looking to continue the inning here with a runner on first. We have first pitch. Swing and a miss from Francois. Looking to repeat that. Got the swing and miss stuff working against Cross, then gave up the hit. Kind of expected the fastball, which he got. Now 0-2. Do we think we might be seeing something a little slower here from Munguia?
He did it last time to the 3-hole hitter, and now we're going to see it probably again to the 4-hole hitter. 2 fastballs in a row, and then the off-speed.
0-2. And that will be fouled off. Staying alive is Francois.
Goes to the cutter right there. Kind of expanded the zone a little bit. Did not get the swing and miss. The batter was able to foul it off.
I talked to Munguia after his 7-inning complete shutout. Complete game shutout. And he was telling me the 2 pitches that he was favoring the most, that he felt like were working for him, were the fastball and the cutter. Goes to it right there. As we'll have the 0-2 pitch to Francois. Hit high into left field. In foul territory and unable to make the grab into the Bercovich bullpen. Nick Thompson and Kieran Baker were giving chase. So let's go through the legacy field right now. It'll be Ethan Payne catching, and then in the infield it'll be Will Florio at first, Ryan Farr at second, Kyler Bittner at short, and Nick Thompson at third. And then from left to right in the outfield it'll be Kieran Baker, Dom Nahar, and Donnell Daniels. 0-2 pitch. Swing and fouled off. Slowed it down even more there.
Yeah, that was the slider right there. Ethan Payne a little frustrated with himself that he couldn't make the catch on the foul tip. Unfortunate for Munguia, but he'll be able to go right back here and still an 0-2 count. Opportunity for a strikeout.
Yeah, the slider is Munguia's preferred off-speed pitch. 0-2, swing and miss, goes to the slider once again for the third out of the inning. One runner left on base for Bercovich. When we return, it will be the leadoff order for Menlo Park. Dom Nahar, Kieran Baker, and Donnell Daniels up to the plate. Welcome in here, bottom of the first after the scoreless top half of the inning. It'll be Dom Nahar to the plate facing the pitcher and DH, Max Cohen. Nahar, kind of been one of the main leadoff guys manager Nick White has been using. So he starts his day. First pitch from Cohen. Hit foul, 0-1.
See fastball right there from Cohen on the first pitch, trying to paint that outside corner. Nahar spoils it. A little bit of a funkier delivery for the pitcher, Max Cohen, as he kind of takes the ball out of his glove before he releases it.
0-1 pitch from Cohen. Yeah, that is a funky delivery, isn't it? As that missed the zone, 1-1. Nahar plays his college ball, will be playing his college ball, this upcoming season at CSU East Bay after a redshirt year. 1-1 pitch comes, and that'll miss the zone, 2-1. Two-one pitch from Cohen. And that is high, ball 3. Nahar ahead in the count early.
Yeah, Nate, and this is the guy you do not want to walk and put on base. Nahar, absolute demon on the base paths.
3-1. Hit high into center field, tracking, having to go quite some distance. Instead, the right fielder, Gracer, comes down with it for the first out of the inning. So, Cohen begins his day with a fly out to right. Brings up Kieran Baker. He's had a pretty solid start to the season. Had a great game Friday against the Alameda Anchors. 3 for 6. First pitch faced from Cohen is looked at for a ball. One and 0. Baker high. Ball 2. And so far this game, Cohen's only thrown 1 strike. As Baker hits that one into opposite field, it'll be a 1-out single from the outfielder, who continues his hot streak of hitting. So, Baker on first, brings up Donnell Daniels. Earlier in the week, hit a inside-the-park grand slam. How about that?
Well, that's quite the play right there, Nate. The inside-the-park grand slam, and it does not really surprise me considering how fast he is on the base paths.
Daniels, another CSU East Bay guy. A little more of an upperclassman entering his senior season.
Yeah,
over across the bed.
And going back to that last at-bat with Kieran Baker, we saw just exactly what he's been doing the entire summer. He's just been taking the ball the other way. He's one of the guys that actually leads the team in whiff percentage, meaning that he doesn't swing and miss a lot. So right there, he pokes one the other side. I know I talked with CSM head coach Riley Golding. He's very excited to get this guy on campus next fall.
Baker will be playing his home baseball here at CSM and takes off. Strike 1 call, but Baker will be safe at second for a stolen base. There's the speed that you were talking about. Baker just took off, and he was beating that throw every day of the week.
Yeah, just a 5-tool player. I mean, we saw the hit tool already, now the speed tool. We've definitely seen the defense out in center field in the past. So, just a complete player in Kieran Baker.
Baker in left this evening. Will be 1-1 to Daniels, who looks at that one for ball 2. Daniels over at CSU East Bay this past season hit a tick over 300. Also had some power on the bat, 13 doubles, 3 home runs. 2-1 pitch comes, swing and miss from Daniels, 2-2.
Yeah, and that's the changeup right there from Max Cohen. Just looks like a fastball the entire time and then drops.
Tough one to adjust to if you're the hitter when you're expecting the fastball.
Yeah, especially since every single hitter in baseball almost always sits fastball. You think it's a fastball, and then it just slows down on its way to the plate.
2-2. Curveball there, hit straight to the shortstop for the second out of the inning. Daniels got a bit of a barrel on that one, but right to the shortstop, Caden Shaw, for the second out of the inning.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 7, Tyler Wong.
As that brings up Tyler Wong, another one of the top hitters for the Legacy this summer. Time and time again, we've seen clutch hitting from the infielder, DHing this evening.
Yeah, Tyler Wong has been Nick White's go-to guy when he needs a clutch hit. Also second on the team in hard hit percentage.
First pitch as Cohen steps off the mound, knowing that Baker has speed at second. That's definitely in the back of his head. Wong, first pitch. Goes to the curveball again, 0-1.
Slows things down right there. 66 miles an hour from Cohen.
You must really trust your off-speed, your breaking ball right there to go to at first pitch.
Yeah, first pitch and to the middle of the order. We saw that a lot in the Legends game yesterday where they were really cautious with the middle of the order, going off-speed pitches first time through the order.
That one just misses the zone 1-1 to Wong. As mentioned, DHing today. We've seen him kind of all over the place. He played a lot of outfield a couple weeks ago. Now we've seen him at first as well. He's also played his more natural position, which is shortstop. Looks at that curve for the 2-1. So it'll be the 2-1 pitch to Wong. Runner on second is Baker. 2 down here in the bottom of the first. And Wong hits that one hard into left field. Baker waved home. He will be safe at the plate. Wong heads for 2. Hard throw from the catcher, not in time. That will be a double from Tyler Wong for the first run of the game.
And that's a great piece of hitting right there by Tyler Wong. Stays just enough on the changeup, pulls it to the left side, gets the RBI single, and then a little in your face to the catcher right there, taking second base on the throw.
So it'll be the 2-out RBI hit from Tyler Wong. Brings up Ryan Farr to the plate. The Cal Lutheran infielder looking to continue the inning here for the Legacy. First pitch from Cohen. And that is fouled off. 0-1. So, Ryan Farr at the plate, Wong at second, Bittner on deck.
Yeah, Ryan Farr definitely one of the legacy hitters that has impressed me the most watching him play. It seems like he has an approach every time, and yes, just like we were expecting, every single time he steps into the plate, he tries to throw the pitcher's timing off. He calls time at least once every at-bat, at least from what I've seen. Calls time right there, trying to disrupt the time and get in the pitcher's head a little bit.
As if the pitcher is not already in his head enough. 1 run's already come across the plate. Runner on second, threat to score. We know Wong has speed there. Swing and miss from Farr, though. Definitely would calm you down, 0-2. Ryan Farr, a couple weeks ago, was the Legacy's hitter of the week. The man on second right now, Wong, was the Legacy's hitter of the week for this past week. So, 4 and 5 hitters in this Legacy lineup have been a problem this season for opposing pitchers. And I mean, as we were talking about at the beginning of the game, it's a battle for first place in the BACL. And to get a run early in the first inning, that really means a lot for this game. As that will be the 3rd out of the inning. Farr just pops it up into opposite field. 1 run comes across the plate from Menlo Park, courtesy of Tyler Wong. When we return, we'll see Jesus Munguia continue his day on the mound. Welcome in, top of the 2nd inning. Legacy already control a 1-0 lead after the RBI from Tyler Wong. Now Jesus Munguia looking to shut things down here in the 2nd. He'll be facing Michael Olson, who hits that one over to second baseman Farr for the quick first out of the 2nd inning. That brings up Ben Johnston to the plate. On deck, Caden Shaw, the shortstop.
Yeah, 1 pitch, 1 out. You love to see that if you're Nick White and the pitching coach right there from the Legacy.
Munguia told me after the complete game shutout last week that he was a little tired. Got some rest in. Looking to go long again here in this Friday night contest. First pitch called for ball 1.
Got some rest in, and it looks like he's used that rest well, as now he's throwing a little bit harder. 87 on that first pitch. We've already seen 90 from him. Excited to see what the rest of the game has for him.
That is... Opens up the count 1-1. One out, nobody on here from Guia. Ben Johnston at the plate, the catcher. Catcher, not usually a position where you see guys hit the ball well, but if Johnson can do so today, that's just a plus for the Bercovich Honors lineup. 2-1. Hit. Right to the second baseman. That is the second out of the inning. A great play by Ryan Farr.
Yeah, and it looked like that ball was knuckling off the bat right there of Johnston. Ryan Farr able to stick with him, make the out.
Tough play for the second baseman. Both outs so far have gone to him in this inning. Brings up Caden Shaw, the shortstop. First pitch to the lefty. Finds the zone, 0-1. As you mentioned, the velocity really can be tough to read here. 88 on the gun there.
Yeah, especially after seeing Max Cohen on the other side throwing 82. It's more of what you're used to seeing in the BACL, but Munguia really bringing the heat today.
That time switches it up to his slowest pitch, the curveball. Evens things up, 1-1. Swing and miss there from Shaw. Goes back to the fastball at 1-2. Your eyes see an 88 to 70 back to 88. So tough on the hitter.
It's tough, especially when you change the eye level of the hitter. You see the curveball down and then the fastball up. It's a really tough adjustment. Goes to the changeup right there. Did not get the strike.
Count evened up, 2-2. Guia looking to get out of the inning. Right here, right now. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss from Shaw. That's the Guia's second strikeout of the day. When we return, Bittner, Florio, and Payne to the plate from Menlo Park. Welcome in here, bottom of the second. It will be Bittner, Florio, and Payne to the plate for the Legacy, who hold a 1-0 lead here over Bercovich Honors. First pitch to Bittner. Hit hard to the third baseman, who's unable to make the catch. Bittner hustling to first, and he will be safe for a lead-off. We're going to roll that as an error to Bercovich.
Yeah, 94 off the bat right there from Bittner. Eats up the third baseman, able to beat it out at first. Gets the runner on base to start the inning here for Will Florio.
And Bittner, another guy who's a threat on the base path. You let on another speedy person here from Cohen. Bittner, 32 stolen bases last year for Kenyatta College. And he's already aware of that. Throws to first. Got Will Florio here.
Got Will Florio at the plate here. A little bit of an interesting approach we've seen from Florio. He doesn't really like to swing the bat that often. 37% of the time he swings the bat. He does hit the ball very hard whenever he does make contact. However, 38% of the time it's a hard hit ball.
Florio, power guy, plays his college ball over in Massachusetts for Stonehill College. It's the second time we've seen them go over to first base where Bittner is. It's definitely been a trend in this legacy lineup to see a lot of speedy guys who can steal. And speak of the devil.
Yeah, we see a lot of stolen bases in this league in general. It looks like the BACL has a lot more speedsters than the CCL.
Yeah, Bittner took off there and beat the throw. It'll be 1-1 here to Florio, who's looking to do something. What's going through your head as a pitcher when you have a runner on second, no outs?
Well, the first thing I'm trying to do if I'm the pitcher Max Cohen here is get the guy at the plate out. Will Florio is definitely a big guy. It's definitely intimidating to see him at the plate. So I'm trying to get him out and then get to the top of the lineup, get those guys out as well.
Florio, the 7-hole hitter on deck, is Ethan Payne. It'll be Nick Thompson after that. And then you're back around to the top of the order. It's crucial if you're Cohen to not let the top of the order come up. Goes to the curveball again. And fouled off 1 and 2. Count remains. It's Friday night here at the ballpark, which means so it's always one of my favorite nights. We have a lot of people show up to the Friday night games. Pizzas being sold, merchandise. You saw the ball boy right there collecting the ball. Will remain 1 and 2 to Florio, who swings and misses at that one for the strikeout. Brings up Ethan Payne to the plate. That's exactly what you wanted to do there if you're Cohen. Get the out without advancing the runner.
Yeah, exactly, Nate. Now that brings up Ethan Payne, a very similar hitter to Will Florio, a guy that doesn't really like to swing the bat as often, has some swing and miss to his game, but he also does hit the ball extremely hard whenever he does put wood on the ball.
First pitch to Payne, who's catching today, is outside for ball 1.
And we're seeing the pitcher Max Cohen have a little bit of a passive approach here, especially to the bottom of the lineup. It's a little bit surprising with the 8-hole hitter starting him off with a changeup right there.
First pitch was a ball. Second pitch fouled off. Evens it up 1-1. Payne this past season was an infielder over at Kenyatta College. Never playing something a little bit maybe newer to him at catcher. 309 average for the Colts.
Yeah, and we see that a lot in summer ball. A lot of guys like to pick up positions, get some reps in at those positions, and maybe when they go back in the fall, they'll have that position learned and mastered and able to play it.
Bittner takes off for third. He will be safe.
Oh. Yeah, the third baseman kind of got his glove taken off on that play right there.
So now, runner 90 feet away from scoring. All Payne has to do is hit it up into the outfield, and it will be a 2-0 ball game in favor of the Legacy. I'm sure that's what he's going to be trying to do here. 2-1 to the catcher. Outside, ball 3. It might not be the worst case scenario if you're Cohen to walk the guy here.
Yeah, with the 9-hole guy on deck, it might not be the worst situation, especially with a guy that does like to hit the ball on the ground, Nick Thompson, and 1 out. But if I'm Max Cohen, I want to get this guy out. It's the 8-hole hitter. Try to get him out before getting to the top of the lineup.
Cohen gets himself into a full count, 3-2. Payne trying to score the runner or reach base.
Yeah, and with the infield back, it looks like the Bercovich honors are just going to give him that if it hits it on the ground, which he does right there.
And that goes to short Payne, trying to beat the throw, and does so. It goes away from the first baseman. He'll reach second. That'll be an RBI for the catcher. Brings the score to 2-0.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there by Ethan Payne. Hitting the ball on the ground, getting the run in. The honors are just going to give you that run. We'll take it right there for the Legacy.
Now batting the third baseman, number 5, Nick Thompson.
And now Cohen finds himself into a similar spot. Runner on second, 1 out. Except this time the Legacy up by 2 instead of 1. Up to the plate, Nick Thompson, the San Francisco State man. Guy who can kind of do it all for you.
Yeah, he'll play all over the field, hit from both sides of the play. Just a true utility man for Nick White's ball club.
Also can pitch if you need him to, but we haven't seen that yet this season. First pitch was rolled a strike. 0-1 here to Thompson as Payne maybe thought about going to third. Caught out in time by the pitcher Cohen. It will remain 0-1.
Yeah, Nate, going back to Nick Thompson, availability is the best ability at times, as we've seen Nick Thompson get a lot of at-bats for the Legacy this summer.
And he hits that one into center field, and it will drop for a hit. Payne holds up at third. And that will be an error right there. So unfortunate for Bercovich.
Yeah, that's absolutely brutal for Bercovich right there. The third base coach is not going to send the runner right there. All you had to do is hit the cutoff man, get the ball back in, get the next guy, but the error is going to allow the run to score. It's 3-0 now.
And more crucially, in fact, bring up the top of the order. It will be Dom Nahar to the plate. As they're trying to get some clarification on what's going on here. Nick White talking with the Bercovich coach. Dom Nahar, leadoff man, back around, his second time up.
Now batting the center fielder, number 25, Dom Nahar.
Last time, reached base. Looking to repeat that again with Thompson on second. Who is another guy with speed. Led Cabrillo Junior College in his last season there in stolen bases, as that is fouled off 0-1.
Yeah, speed and singles have really been the name of the game for the Legacy this summer. You see them get on base, hitting a single, and then taking second on the either the errant throw or the stolen base, what have you. They will get to second base no matter what.
0-1 here to Nahar. Cohen waves away that sign from the catcher. Doesn't like what he's getting. 0-1. One of the curveball there. That just misses the zone. Owen brings it to 1-1. Nahar, another guy with speed. Baker has speed as well. Daniels and Wong, too. A lot of speed in this Legacy lineup. Cohen needs to get out of this inning.
Yeah, with 2 runs already on the board, the Bercovich Honors are just really looking to get these last 2 outs. Cannot allow another run to score. All the momentum is on the Legacy side right now. You got to stop that if you're Bercovich.
Each pitch, it looks like Thompson is just extending his lead inch by inch.
Yeah, and this is great base running by Nick Thompson right here, getting in Max Cohen's head. More likely for him to make a mistake pitch here. Dom Nahar, a guy who can rifle the ball into the outfield.
1-1 to Nahar. Thompson just heads back to second. He is definitely in Cohen's head. I mean, it is tough for Bercovich. You know, it's their first time at CSM. It's a unique field, and Thompson takes off for third and will be safe.
Yeah, and that absolutely messes with your head as a pitcher. I mean, you're trying to pick him off a variety of times, and Nick Thompson still takes third.
So Thompson will be at third. All Nahar has to do is hit it into the outfield, and it'll be a 4-0 game here in favor of Menlo Park. First pitch. Third pitch, excuse me, and that is drifting foul. We'll go to 1-2. Excuse me, 2-2.
And yeah, we said hit into the outfield, but you could really just hit it on the ground and bring in a run. The Honors are really just giving the runs to the Legacy at this point. All Nahar has to do is hit a ball up the middle.
I mean, quite literally, with the amount of errors that they've gotten this innings, that one drifts foul. Nahar not going down easy. Cohen trying to get the punch out. That remains 2-2.
And 2 runs already in here for the Legacy. You see Dom Nahar is just being a tough out here at the plate. The runners taking over on the base paths, stealing bases. It's been a rough inning for Max Cohen.
And that one is high, ball 3. He did have a pitch to give, used it. The load up the count 3-2. No one warming up still for Bercovich. They could be looking for Cohen to go a little longer here. Payoff pitch. Curve. Fouled off. That would have walked Nahar, I think, if he hadn't swung it there. Count remains 3-2 after the foul ball. Nahar looking to do potentially a little more than necessary. Now pitch once again, hit high up into right field. Thompson will tag, and he will be safe at the plate. That is a sac fly to score. Thompson, it is a 4-0 game in favor of Menlo Park.
And a great at-bat right there by Dom Nahar. Spoiled off some tough pitches. Got the runner in. Didn't have to do too much right there. All he did was hit the ball into the outfield. He sacrificed himself, brought the run in, and he also extended the inning for the next guy.
So it'll be 4-0 here for Baker. First pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Now Cone kind of with a blank slate, 2 outs. Takes a lot of pressure off of him.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, but the legacy, I mean, if you're them, you're very happy with what has happened this inning. If you're Nick White, you absolutely are loving what you are seeing from your offense here so far.
It'll be 1-1 to Baker, who swings and misses at that offering, 1-2.
Yeah, and we talked about the importance of getting runners on base, getting guys to mess with the pitcher's head a little bit. Now that there's nobody on base, you see Max Cohen a lot more conviction out there on the mound.
1-2 pitch is high for ball 2, evens things up. Last time we saw the legacy at this field, they mercy ruled their opponents. As that hits Baker, the last thing that Cohen wanted to do there.
And that's absolutely frustrating as a pitcher. A 2-strike count with 2 outs, and you hit the batter. Unfortunate for Max Cohen right there.
Which will bring up Donnell Daniels to the plate. Daniels, CSU East Bay man, one of the top hitters this summer for Menlo Park. First pitch he sees, he hits foul, 0-1. Before joining CSU East Bay, played some JUCO ball at Butte Community College up in Northern California. As the runner goes, Baker out at second to end the inning. So
For the legacy, 3 runs on 2 hits.
when we return, we'll see Jesus Munguia now with a 4-run lead, pitching to Bercovich. It is 4-0 in favor of Menlo Park. Welcome in here, top of the third. Legacy now command a 4-0 lead over the Bercovich Honors. And it'll be Guia entering his 3rd inning of work. Has been pretty shut down so far. Struck out 2. Has only allowed 1 hit. That first pitch is called for ball 1. Foul. Brings the count to 1-1. Munguia going to the cutter there. One-on-one pitch. In the zone, 1-2. Munguia gets the fastball there. That misses 2-2. Munguia. This is college ball in Orange County for Vanguard University. Posted a 3.56 ERA for the NAIA school. That is high. Loads at the count 3-2.
Yeah, it looks like the catcher might have gotten crossed up right there. Unfortunate right there.
So it'll be the full count pitch to the Bercovich batter. Righty steps in. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 on the day for Munguia. Exactly how you want to start the third inning.
Yeah, goes to the cutter right there. Definitely a pitch that he's had a lot of control of today. Swing and a miss right there. He took something off.
Brings up the pitcher, Cohen. Cohen last inning pitched 28 pitches. That is a lot for a single inning. Looks at that one for ball 1. One no. Pitcher on pitcher. Advantage Munguia there. Brings it up to 1-1.
Yeah, Nate, and something that we've really seen with Munguia is that he just grabs the ball and he steps right back on the mound. No waste of time for him. Pace of play, 100% for him today.
Popped up, foul, 1-2. Always nice to see contrasting styles of pitching. Some guys really like to slow it down. I feel like Cohen was trying to play a little slower at times through the first 2 innings. Munguia, complete opposite.
Yeah, and that might be a little bit of a byproduct of Cohen just having more runners on base. When you have more runners on base, you think more. When you don't have any on base, it's a lot easier to just grab the ball and throw the next pitch.
Pitch hit to Baker in left field for the second out of the inning. Munguia continuing his excellent start to the day with that second out. Brings back up the top of the order, Horatio Buccio. Excuse me, Buccio. Buccio, his second baseman, last time unable to reach base. Pitch hit hard into center field. 87 off of the bat of the second baseman, but right to Nahar to end the top of the third. When we return, it will be Daniels, Wong, and Farr for the Menlo Park Legacy. Welcome in here, bottom of the third. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 for Menlo Park, who are looking to continue the thrashing here to start the game. It'll be Daniels, Wong, and Farr. Second time through the order for them.
Yeah, second time through the order. They've seen the sky a little bit now. They've already put 4 runs up on the board, looking for them to do even more damage here.
A lot of these guys, Wong and Farr in particular, had success against Cohen so far. That one's ball to Daniels, 1-0.
Cohen maybe a little bit more passive here. Goes to the changeup right there on the first pitch.
1-0. Hit high, deep into left field. It is. Does get over the wall for a ground rule double. That was hit 332 feet.
That is so unfortunate right there for Donnell Daniels. A ball that looked absolutely crushed, but like we talked about it, the jet stream blows out to right field, so maybe the jet stream kind of took over that ball. Maybe you see 99 miles an hour off the bat. The launch angle was great. On a better day where the wind is blowing out to left field, that ball's gone.
Yeah, we were kind of see the flag out in right center.
They're gonna call
They're
that.
gonna call that a home run. In fact, confusion. The left fielder is irate. Cross can't believe it. Bercovich manager can't believe it.
Yeah, Bercovich manager is hot. That ball did look like it bounced.
That looked like it bounced. I'm with you.
Not quite sure why they're calling this a home run.
Daniels, if they're ruling that a homer, that is a big one. His second in a few days. And that one actually went over the wall, unlike the grand slam inside the park. Daniels having a fantastic start to his week. There is still confusion here. But the call on the field will stand. That is a home run for Donnell Daniels.
Now batting the designated hitter number 7, Tyler Wall.
Massive there for Donnell. So, Tyler Wong now to the plate. No outs. As the day for Bercovich goes from bad to worse there on... I'm going to be honest, I thought that didn't clear the fence.
I did not think that cleared the fence either, Nate, so I'm really confused as to what the ruling is there. I'm not entirely sure what the umpire's reasoning is.
That brings up Tyler Wong, who had a hit last time out.
However, we will absolutely clarify that we will take it.
We will take it. 2-1 to Wong. Cohen rattled here to start the bottom of the third. And still, are you surprised to see no one warming up for Bercovich?
I am a little bit surprised. Looking at their dugout, it does look like they're a little bit light on players. But yes, definitely surprised that Max Cohen is still out there. And also, nobody's backing him up yet.
1-2-1 pitch hit high into right center. And that will be the first out of the inning. You hear cries from the Bercovich honors dugout saying that was a home run when clearly, in fact, was a fly out to right.
Now the second baseman, number 2, Ryan Farr.
Brings up Ryan Farr to the plate with no one on, one down. First pitch to Farr. Curveball in the dirt, 1-0.
And you know what, Nate? Definitely one of my favorite parts of watching the Legacy play is their dugout. Their dugout is just amazing all the time, always bringing the energy, especially head coach Nick White always dancing along with the team. Just great vibes over there on that right side of the field.
I feel like if you're, bringing the good vibes off the field in the dugout, good vibes on the field are going to come. As that is hit foul. 2-1 to Farr. I mean, these guys have some fun walkout songs. They like to play games in the dugout, trying to get competitions with the other team. It's always fun to commentate a Legacy game. As Ryan Farr, once again, you mentioned it last time up, calls time to get in Cohen's head. 2-1. That'll miss the zone. 3-1 now to Farr. This past season for Cal Lutheran had a .412 batting average. Absolutely raked. In Southern California, that one is going to be an out. Great play by the third baseman, Francois. For the second out of the inning. Bercovich perhaps playing a little bit pissed off here.
Yeah, and it's hard not to play that way, especially when you're seeing that call of the home run. Really still confused about that, Nate.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be Bercovich is able to come back in this game here and get things close. That is definitely going to be a storyline as things go on. As that brings up Kyler Bittner. First pitch in the zone, 0-1.
Yeah, we're seeing Cohen really go to that first pitch change up a lot this second time, changing it up a little bit as the pitch name suggests, second time through the order.
0-1. 12-6 curve there. Misses the zone, 1-1. We have seen that curve with some sweep to it. That time, a little bit more vertical drop. That is fouled off, 1-2.
Yeah, and we're seeing Cohen lose a little bit of his velocity here. Started off in the low 80s, now down to the high 70s, and still nobody warming up. Really surprising for Bercovich.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a smaller dugout. I mean, that's something that we have noticed. The Legacy have a very large roster compared to most of their league opposition. Has come in handy for them. They're able to go bringing a lot of guys off the bench as pinch hitters and runners. As that is hit once again to the third baseman, Bittner will be safe. That's going to be an infield single with 2 outs to Bittner. Brings up Will Florio.
Now batting the first baseman, number 22, Will Florio.
Florio to the plate. It'll be Florio to the plate, St. Francis product. One of the few guys who played their high school ball for the Lancers. That swing and miss, 0-1.
Yeah, Will Florio, the press box favorite, definitely a guy that has been in the press box's minds all season. I mean, with his walk-up song shenanigans at the beginning, and then his jersey numbers, he's had them change quite a bit. Number 22 today.
Now, where's 22 in black, 50 in green? Don't know how that works, but I'm not asking questions. 0-1 goes back again to Bittner. Reached base last time and is a threat to steal. Had 32 stolen bags for Kenyatta. Another St. Francis guy as well. So it's a Lancer on first, a Lancer at the plate. And it's now 1-1 to Florio. Hit high into center fielder. Tracking back is Pearson. And gets the third out of the inning. One run came across the plate off of the home run from Daniels. When we return, it'll be Bercovich trying to respond here in the top of the fourth. Welcome in here, top of the fourth. Home run in the bottom of the third for Daniels. Now Munguia looking to continue to shut things down. Has sat down 7 straight batters. Bercovich really struggling to get their offense going here against the Legacy's ace. That one misses the zone. Once again, Munguia behind 2-0 to the center fielder, Pearson. Who hits that one over second, bit far. Gets a... That was close there.
Yeah, tough play
first.
Tough play for the second baseman far right there. I thought he kind of got him, but first baseman disagrees. First base umpire, apologies, disagrees. Base hit right there.
Maybe a makeup call? Maybe a makeup call?
Maybe a makeup call, but, you know, still unfortunate for the legacy.
So it's a leadoff single to Pearson. Brings up Jake Cross, the left fielder. Got the first hit of a game in the first. Now his second time through the order. Looks at that one for ball one. 1-0. Goes back to first. Cross maybe looking to steal there. Should be Pearson. First, that one is a ball as well. 2-0. Munguia. Have to throw a strike this inning. 2-0 pitch comes. Hit that one. And Bercovich responding here. Leadoff man. Pearson thought about going 3. But that will be another single. 2 on here for Bercovich.
Yeah, not a great start for Munguia here. Looking for him to roll a double play here, get 2 outs with 1 swing of the bat.
So it'll be Malachi Francois to the plate. On deck is Michael Olson, the first baseman. First pitch to Francois. Struck out first time he faced Munguia, and Munguia that time gets the first pitch strike. Crucial when you've been throwing balls most of the inning.
Yeah, good to see him get back in the strike zone on that pitch.
That one is pieced into opposite field. Tracking's Daniels, who gets the second out. But the runner will tag from second to third.
Yeah, great ranging play right there from Donnell Daniels. A great throw as well, making sure not to throw it over to the third. Sometimes we get greedy. Hits his cutoff man, prevents the runner at first from moving over.
Now batting the first baseman, number 27, Michael Olson.
Brings up Michael Olson to the plate. A great piece of hitting, by the way, by Francois. That is just unlucky. The ball just hung up in right field. That's just the jet stream right there in full effect. So it'll be Michael Olson to the plate. Runner at first. Third. First pitch is a ball. 1-0.
And Nate, we're finally getting some action down there in the Bercovich bullpen. It did look like Bucio, which is really interesting that they're going to have some of their hitters now on the mound.
First pitch, second pitch, excuse me. Finds his zone. 1-1, evens things up.
Yeah, it goes to the cutter right there. It does look like it's been his go-to pitch when he needs a strike.
So it'll be 1-1. So Olson, the lefty. Oh, misses the zone. 2-1.
Goes to the changeup right there. Maybe a little bit of a split grip for him. See, only 700 spin rate on that. Absolutely falls off the table for him.
2-1. Swing and a miss from Olson. Even things up. 2-2. Goes back to the fastball there. 87. Maybe starting to lose a bit of velocity, though.
Yeah, losing a little bit of velocity, but going from 76 on that last pitch to 87. It's still an 11-mile-an-hour difference. Still really tough for the hitter to pick it up.
2-2 pitch. Runners on first and third. Bercovich looking to score something. Pitch comes. That'll be outside. Loads the count up. 3-2.
And he's trying to backdoor slider right there. Just misses. Unfortunate for him as now it's a full count.
Full count pitch to Olson. Who looks at that one for ball 4. It'll be bases loaded. Off for the cutter. There's the pitching coach for Menlo Park. First time visiting the mound to chat with Munguia.
This is a good pitching mound visit here for Munguia. Looks like he's a little bit flustered, especially after a walk. He really likes his cutter today. He went to it right there, did not. He just completely missed arm side. So really good idea by the pitching coach to go out and check on him.
We'll be back shortly after this mound visit. Welcome back, top of the fourth. Munguia gets himself into a bit of a hole here. Bases loaded, one out. Looking to keep that 0 on the scoreboard for Bercovich. As that ball is dropped by the catcher, Payne, it will be a run. The first of the game for Bercovich.
Looks like that ball just kind of sailed on Munguia. Ethan Payne not able to catch that ball. It just clanks off his glove and goes to the backstop.
Not what you want to see after the mound visit. First pitch just absolutely gets away from Munguia. It'll be 1-0 to the catcher, Johnston. On deck, Caden Shaw. Bercovich. So they have some fight in them here in the top of the fourth. As that is fouled off. Evens it up 1-1.
And with 1 run already on the board, 2 runs in scoring position, you just got to go back to that top half of the inning where the run scored. It might make a difference here early on.
Will be 1-1. Pitch comes, swing and miss. Great. Strike 2 there from Munguia. Not at all what the batter was expecting.
Yeah, he went to the slider there, a pitch that he hasn't really used that much today. We've seen him throw it about 30% of the time during the other times he's pitched on the mound.
1-2. Fouled off, barely remains the same count. Runners on second and third. Johnston, the catcher, who swings and misses at that one. A big strikeout from Munguia. Absolutely crucial here in the inning.
Yeah, great pitch right there. Elevates a fastball after 2 sliders. Just absolutely beautiful sequencing right there by Jesus Munguia.
So tough if you're hitter. As that brings up Caden Shaw, the shortstop, with 2 on, 2 out. Looking to extend the inning here. That one misses 1-0. Shaw to the plate, Gracer on deck, but Munguia wants to get out of the inning right here. Pitch finds his own 1-1 on the fastball. Even after the mound visit and some difficulties afterwards, there's still no one warming up for Menlo Park. Nick White really showing that he trusts Munguia here in this situation.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, Munguia's been one of their best pitchers. He's been pretty much their ace, if you will, of the Menlo Park legacy this summer.
Gets the swing and miss there. 1-2 now to Shaw. That one is high. Ball 2. Tough one there from Munguia not to get the call.
Yeah, tough not to get the call, but that sets up a lot of opportunities for Munguia to go here. You can go to the changeup with the lefty on. Slider's been really working for him. Cutter's been his go-to called strike pitch.
He's got the hitter looking high there after the high fastball. And goes to something slower there to get the K. One run comes across the plate for Bercovich, but it's hard not to think it could have been so much more. Score is now 5-1. When we return, it will be Payne, Thompson, and Nahar to the plate for Menlo Park. Welcome in here. It'll be Ethan Payne to the plate.
Leading off for the Legacy, catcher number 31, Ethan Payne.
And a new pitcher as well for Bercovich. It will be Horacio Bucio on the mound now. Moving over from second base. First pitch is a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, change up on that first pitch. It looks like he's throwing a little bit of the slower stuff to start things off.
Kind of carrying over what Cohen was doing before him. Second pitch. Misses 2-0. This inning, it will be Payne, Thompson, and Nahar for the Legacy. So you get the top of the order back around. Crucially as well.
And Nate, I'm starting to think these are sinkers, actually. It's always an adjustment going from the CCL, where you see a lot of high velos, going to the BACL, as you're seeing Bucio sit in the low 70s with his fastball.
So it'll be 2-1. Payne at the plate. Who looks at that one for ball 3. We just got Max Cohen's final line. 3 innings pitched. Gave up 6 hits, 5 runs. Only 2 of those were earned, though. Had 1 hit by pitch. Struck out 1 on 67 pitches as Payne gets a walk there from Bucio. Always tough when the first batter you face as a pitcher, you walk them, right?
Yeah, especially with a 4-pitch walk. It always gets in your head a little bit, especially if you're down there in the bullpen throwing strikes and you come out onto the mound and you throw 4 balls in a row.
I mean, we were confused as to why there wasn't anyone warming up. It makes sense. The guy coming into the game was a field position player, as that'll be a stolen base for the catcher, Payne. It's nice when your catcher has a bit of speed on the base path. As it'll be 1-0 to Thompson. That one goes in the dirt again, 2-0. Bucio really struggling here to start the bottom of the 4th. Two 2-0 to Thompson. We saw him against Cohen batting from the right-hand side, now batting lefty, the switch hitter. And why he's so useful for Nick Thompson. He hits that one high, deep into center field, tracking back and unable to make the catch as a center fielder. Payne digging for home. It will be a double for Thompson. In fact, Thompson's going to go for 3. He will be safe. It'll be a double, and then an error to reach 3rd.
That was a really interesting play right there, Nate. It looks like the runner Thompson kind of kicked the ball when he was running around second. Doesn't look like the umpire saw that, so Thompson will advance to 3rd.
So now 6-1 in favor of Menlo Park. Brings up Dom Nahar for the 3rd time around. He finds himself in a similar situation. Thompson at 3rd. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. As that one is high, ball 1.
And we were seeing Bercovich a little bit passive going to the bullpen, but now we got another guy, Jackson Short, down there warming up, potentially relieving Bucio here.
So that one misses 2-0. Nahar. I want to let him on, one of the speedier guys on the Menlo team. Pitch comes. It's that one high, foul, ball, strike 1. It's 2-1 here. Nahar looking to score the run here. Comes, and that'll be called strike 2. Absolutely crucial here for Bucio to get the first out of the inning. 2-2. Inside, ball 3, loads up the count to Nahar.
And we're seeing Dom Nahar do the exact same thing he's done every single time he stepped up to the plate. Be a tough out. Seeing a lot of pitches, getting a lot of quality at bats in this game.
3-2. High, ball 4, take your base, Nahar. Really runners on 1st and 3rd. And I mean, knowing how Nick White likes to use his runners. I wouldn't be surprised if Nahar takes off for second at some point
Yeah, and Dom
to
Nahar,
eliminate the double play ball.
and Dom Nahar is that guy for the legacy so far this year. The guy that pretty much every single time he's been on base, he's stolen a base. Would not be surprised to see him go at some point.
Brings up Kieran Baker to the plate. The righty. Provided some clutch at-bats and
Right on cue right there, Nate.
right
Stolen
on
base.
cue. Stolen base for Nahar. It will be 1-0 here to Baker. True runners in scoring position for the left fielder. And a hit into opposite field in the first. Hits that one to third. Runner will go. And it will be infield single for Baker. Scores a run. Makes it 7-1 here. As we will be getting Donnell Daniels to the plate with runners on first and second. Nobody out still.
And we're seeing a lot of the speed play off for the legacy here today. Kieran Baker beating that out at first base. The third baseman looked like he had the ball in his glove, could not get it out of there.
So it will be Nahar at second, Baker at first, Daniels to the plate. The outfield in the infield now. Pitch hit right to the third baseman. And he'll be safe at second. Just gets back in time. I don't know if that came across on the mic, but the legacy dugout chanting home run hitter. First out of the inning there. I'm sure that one feels good if you're Bercovich.
Yeah, it definitely feels good for Bercovich to get Donnell Daniels out right there. You see the third base coach a lot of the time say back on a line, and Dom Nahar almost gets doubled up right there. Luckily for the legacy, he was able to get back.
And that's when the speed pays off for you, not only to advance, but also to get back in time. As that one is a hit by Wong, it'll be 1 run. It'll be 2 runs. Baker heads home. Wong at second, and it'll be a bases clearing double for Tyler Wong. Now 9-1 here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, Nate. Tyler Wong has been that guy for Nick White so far, the guy that he calls on when the situation arises to bring in a couple runs, breaks this game open 9-1 now, Legacy.
Are you sure the game wasn't already open already?
Well, they definitely broke it open even more. 4 runs on the board for the Legacy this inning.
I've scored a run in every inning so far of the game. The bats are hot here at San Mateo. That one is high. Ball 1 almost hits far. One-0 pitch to far. As Wong takes off to third, getting greedy, and will be safe at third. It's another stolen base here for the Legacy. The count is now 1-1. Called strike there by the home plate umpire.
Yeah, and that stolen base is important right there because now anything that Ryan Farr does will most likely result in a run. The 10th run for the Legacy if they can get this one across.
That one is high, ball 2. And we saw the last time they were here. At CSM, the bats were really hot. That continues as the count is even up to 2-2. Legacy hitters kind of getting in stride as the season goes on.
Yeah, a lot of guys are on hot streaks right now. We're seeing it. The team is just as a collective. The offensive side of it is coming together.
2-2 to far. Busio gathers. Curveball pieced into left field. It will be out at left, and then Wong will be safe at the plate. That is when the speed comes handy once again. It'll be the 5th run of the inning. Legacy up 10-1 here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, really surprising send right there for Tyler Wong. The left fielder did not make a clean throw. I think a cleaner throw on the left side of the plate maybe gets Tyler Wong. But luckily for the Legacy, he's able to come through and score that 10th run.
So it'll be Kyler Bittner to the plate. With nobody on, that one is outside, ball 1. But now, crucially for Busio, clean slate. Nobody on, 2 outs. You just have to get out of the inning at this point.
You got to get out of the inning, and it's not really helping for him right now that he's down 2-0 to this hitter right now. Maybe a little bit of a struggle coming out of the windup as he's been out of the stretch the entire inning.
3-0. It's a Bittner. I'm sure it also factors into the game when you start out in the field and then switch to the mound, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a struggle going from the field to the mound, but the manager's calling on you to do it. You got to do it, and it looks like they might go to the next pitcher here.
Yeah, I think that will be Bucio's day. 5 runs came across the plate on his watch. When we return, we'll see a new man in for Bercovich. Welcome back in. Bottom of the 4th, and comes with it a new pitcher. Jackson Short into the game for Bercovich honors. It'll be Will Florio to the plate, the 9th batter of the inning for Menlo Park.
Yeah, the legacy are batting around here. Really something you love to see if you're the hitting coaches, and especially if you're Nick White.
As we just got Bucio's line, pitched 2 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 hits, 5 earned runs, walked 3, struck out no one on 28 pitches. That's just a tough way to start your day. And end your day as well. 1-0, Bittner on first, Florio at the plate. And Florio reaches, we will have gone around the entire order. In fact, he gets hit by a pitch right on cue. So it'll be runners on first and second. I don't see anyone on deck. It should be Ethan Payne coming up. He might have to take off his catching gear. Or is the legacy hitter still yet to come out of the dugout? It should be Ethan Payne coming to the plate. And he is in full catcher gear right now. He's going to have to change out of it and get ready to hit. Just losing track of time. I don't think he expected to come back in, but the legacy have gone around the entire order. I mean, if you're just looking at it from a logistics perspective, probably the last position you want to start out the inning with, if you're trying to go back through the entire order, is catcher.
Yeah, it's definitely catcher, and now we see Ethan Payne coming up to the plate. We also see somebody warming up down there in the bullpen for the legacy. Really surprising considering how well Munguia's pitched, but maybe the extended inning, the pitch count, all of that, they want to rest Munguia for the rest of the game. Looks like maybe Chris Walsh down there.
Yeah, I was 66 pitches through 4 innings. That's definitely not ideal if you're Munguia. First pitch is called a strike.
Yeah, now this elongated inning, it really seems like they just want to be cautious with this arm. I was talking to Nick White before the game. It seems like he's talking to a lot of schools, potentially a transfer guy. Definitely has put up a lot of good numbers this summer for the legacy.
Certainly helping his case. Brings it to 1-1. So runners on first and second. Runner on, a hitter at the plate, is Payne. 2 outs. And that misses the zone. Brings the count to 2-1.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a little bit of something different here with Short. A big bender right there on the slider. Throwing a little bit harder, especially tough if you're the hitter. And you've already seen slower stuff, 73, and now you're seeing 84. Definitely an adjustment here this inning.
Yeah, earlier in the inning, Payne was the first person to face Bucio. Was looking around like low 70s on his sinker. Now 84 from Short. As Payne hits that one to second. And Bercovich gets out of the inning. 5 runs come across the plate for Menlo Park. They are up 10-1 here, entering the top of the 5th.
John Ringer.
Welcome back in here at top of the 5th. Minguia still on the bump now to a new catcher, Matteo Blandino, into the game, along with a plethora of substitutions that once we get them, we will alert you to right away. Pitch. Fouled off 1-2 now. Guia entering his 5th inning of work. 66 pitches through 4 innings. Gets the swing and miss there for the strikeout to start the 5th. There were some concerns about potentially his pitch count, potentially after the long bottom of the 4th, him getting a little cold, but certainly didn't see it there to start the 5th. First batter gone via the swing and strike. Brings up the new Bercovich honors man. First pitch. Hit. Into right center field for the 1-out hit. It will be a single from Max Cohen. Brings up the top of the order.
Now batting the pitcher, number 19, Jackson Short.
To Jackson Short, his first time hitting all day after subbing in for Bucio. First pitch, fouled off 0-1.
He goes in wherever Baker's in. I think 2 hole.
Baker?
Who was the sub for Nahar?
You own 1 here, Minguia. Can finish the time at Vanguard now for a new place to play some ball. That one is high, ball 1. Playing for Vanguard down in Orange County. Also a native of Orange County from Anaheim originally. 2-1 here. The short, who hits that one hard to second. It'll be out at short and out at first. It's a double play to end the top of the 5th. The field coming through for Minguia there in the 5th inning. When we return, we'll see the legacy back into the lineup and head back up to the top of the order for the 4th time around. Welcome in here, bottom of the 5th. And a whole lot of changes. It'll be Nick Thompson, Stuart Cash, and Cooper Winton. As Thompson hits that one into right center, and will be a base hit. Thompson, good digging for 2, heads back to first. It'll be a leadoff single for the new right fielder.
Zeus wanted me to ask if we can change his pass ball to an error on the 2 on the catcher. So he can keep his 20 inning plus an error.
Now batting the third baseman, number 1, Stuart Cash.
It'll be Stuart Cash to the plate. There's pitch. Thompson thought about going. It'll be fouled off 0-1. Cash into the game at third base. He's more of a defensive guy, but he's some good hitting this season. Another guy that you can kind of move all around the field, a utility man. Also pitched for Grinnell College out in Iowa. Looks at that one for ball 1. That one misses the zone, 2-1. It's still short in the game, 2-1. Two-one pitch to Cash. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 to the Los Altos native. Evens things up, 2 apiece. Thompson at first. Has some speed. I'm sure Short knows that. Extends his lead. That's back. 2-2 pitch. Hit high. Into center field. For the first out of the inning. Cash unable to do anything there. As that will bring up Cooper Winton to the plate.
And yeah, I think they're going to say that ball hit the ground. It looks like He's going to stay at first. So
Interesting.
Now batting the designated hitter number 3, Cooper Winton.
So it'll be Thompson at first, Winton at the plate. His first time in the game. We haven't seen too much at home. As he hits that one to first, he'll be out at second. Safe at first. Errant throw from the shortstop, but let's make the grab for the second out of the inning. As that brings up Donnell Daniels, one of the few guys in the legacy lineup not to get subbed out, along with the man on deck, Tyler Wong.
Batting the left fielder number 26, Donnell Daniels.
His runner at second is Thompson. Already hit a home run earlier in the game, controversially at that. Looks at that one for ball 1. Thompson is at first. Has some speed, as mentioned. We've seen him steal earlier in the game. 1-0. Finds his own 1-1. Daniels this past season for CSU East Bay, 302 average. As it looks like Thompson could be stuck in a pickle, but will make it back to first. Frustration from short on the mound.
yeah, and that's a
Thompson
great job by Nick Thompson right there. Got picked off, goes back to first sliding, and the second baseman just did not even make a throw.
Perhaps got a little fortunate there. It'll be 1-1 once again to Donnell Daniels, who looks at that one for ball 2. Daniels, one of the few guys on both teams who's from Hawaii, calls Waialuku home. One pitch here to the outfielder. Swinging, 2-2. Big hack there from Daniels, looking to send that one over the left field fence once again.
Yeah, it's some low velocity stuff here from short. However, it does look like it has a lot of action to it. I mean, even we saw it with the slider on the first pitch to Daniels. Looked like it was going to hit him. Comes back, almost catches the strike zone.
Ball 3 high, trying to get him swinging on the high heat. 85 on the gun there. Be a full count pitch here to Daniels. Runner goes. We'll head back.
Yeah, that was the slider right there from short. We're seeing a lot of spin on that pitch. 2,800 spin rate on that.
Tough for the hitters. It'll be 3-2 to Daniels. Who goes around, strike 3 to end the inning. For the first time all day, no runs come across the plate for Menlo Park. When we return, we'll see the Menlo Park defense looking to keep up their excellent work. Welcome in here, top of the 6th. New arm into the game for the Legacy. Munguia's day is done. It'll be Chris Walsh stepping in from Menlo Park, facing Cole Jones, the center fielder. First pitch. Hit hard by Jones. He will be safe after the first baseman, Florio, was forced off the bag. Be a leadoff reach on error there for Jones.
Now batting the left fielder, number 17, Aiden Perry.
Walsh got a 3-pitch mix, a sinker, slider, and changeup. As we see the sinker there, miss the zone, 1-0. As we just got Munguia's line. Through 5 innings, only allowed 1 hit. Excuse me, 4 hits. Just read the writing. 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 75 pitches.
Yeah, Nate, a little surprising to see Nick White take him out here, but at the same time, it is a 9-run game. He's given the team enough to get a win for him. I think it's time for him to relinquish the ball over to the bullpen, get some other guys some innings. Chris Walsh in now, seeing really rely on that fastball in the low 80s.
2-1. Walsh with some pressure. That one hits hard into right field. And making the grab is Nick Thompson, who started the day in third. Now on the other side of the field.
Now batting the second baseman, number 34, Noah Garcia.
Gets the grab to make the first out of the inning. Brings up Garcia to the plate. First pitch. Hit hard. Past the first baseman for a base hit. Runner will hold up at second. It'll be a 1-out single for Bercovich to put some pressure on Walsh.
Now batting the first baseman, number 35, Luca Buchanel.
Brings up Luca Buchanel to the plate. Walsh under pressure here early in his outing.
Yeah, and you already see another guy warming up for the Legacy. It looks like Roland Mosley's down there. Another guy who maybe Nick White's just trying to get right. Last time we saw him, a little bit of a struggle out here at College of San Mateo.
Hit weakly to second base. It'll be out at second. Should have probably gone to first, but maybe thought the runner was going to go home instead. It'll just be a force out at second. Will now be runners on the corner. Brings up the new Bercovich hitter.
He came in for the catcher for Johnson.
Comes in for the catcher, Johnston. Looks at that one for ball 1. Caden Wild, the righty, digs in on looking the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. That one finds the zone, evens things up, 1-1. One pitch finds the zone, 1-2. Beautiful slider there by Walsh.
Yeah, and that's been his go-to secondary offering. It's a tighter slider, 74 miles an hour right there from Chris Walsh.
1-2 to Wild. Runners on first and third. Hits that one to short. Throw to first. In time for the final out of the inning. Score remains 10-1 in favor of the Legacy. When we return, it will be
For Bercovich honors, no run,
Long,
1 hit, a strand 2.
Ringer and Bittner to the plate for Menlo Park. Welcome in here, bottom of the 6th. Tyler Wong, John Ringer, and Kyler Bittner to the plate for the Menlo Park Legacy. Starting off with Wong, who's been one of the top performers today. Cleared the bases on a double in the 4th inning. Oh, here in the 6th. Look for that one for ball 1. Hit the opposite field by Wong. It will be a base hit. Wong continuing his excellent start to the day with a leadoff single.
Yeah, that's a great piece of hitting right there by Tyler Wong. A fastball on the outside part of the plate. Just flicks his bat out there. Hits it into the opposite field for a base hit.
Brings up John Ringer to the plate. Comes into the game for Ryan Farr at second base. Ringer has his college ball over at Norwich University and Military School in Vermont. First pitch. Showed bunt. Almost hit him. 1-0. And we know Wong has some speed at first. Could be looking to steal here and get some pressure on the new arm. 1-0 to Ringer. Swinging, fouled off. Evens it up. 1-1. Ringer, before playing at Norwich University, played his high school ball for Cupertino. The count is even, 1-1. Looks at that one for ball 2.
Yeah, and something you'll see with these guys, especially a guy like this, really over the top. You'll see some cut to his fastball, so really something you need to adjust to as a hitter.
It'll be 2-1 to Ringer. Runner on first is Wong, who stays down in the dirt. 3-1 now to Ringer, who, again, another guy with some speed in the legacy lineup. Had a couple stolen bags in his limited time this season for Norwich University. 3-1 to Ringer, who thought he got the 4th ball instead. Count is loaded up. 3-2. 1 on, nobody out here for the legacy. Looking to really put in the dagger to Bercovich. 3-2 pitch. Hit on opposite field, didn't go in foul. Towards the legacy bullpen, it will drop for a foul ball. Count remains 3-2.
And again, we're seeing that jet stream really play into effect. We see the flag really waving towards that right side of the field. That ball just kept carrying off, and the first baseman just could not get there.
It'll be the 3-2 pitch once again to Ringer. Runner on first is Wong. Pitch comes. Low, ball 4. That time got the call he was looking for. It'll be runners on first and second for a new man into the game. It'll be
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for the legacy, number 20,
Roman Trinidad into the game for the legacy. Pinch hitting for Bittner. With runners on first and second, nobody out. Trinidad looks at that one, ball 1. Trinidad, a late addition to the legacy lineup. Look at that one for ball 1. And looks at that one again, ball 2. Okay, it's 2-0 here to Trinidad, the lefty. Gets called, first strike. 2-1 now to the Cal commit. One of 2 D1 guys on the roster for Menlo Park. 2-1. Hit high into right field. Tracking back. Sun is shining bright. Tough play for the right field to make, but gets the first out of the inning. But the runner, Wong, tags to third. It will be runners at the corner for Will Florio.
How about in the
first baseman.
number 22,
Yeah, Nick, the
Will
sun is really
Florio.
shining down here. It looked like the right fielder kind of took a weird route to the ball, but did eventually get there. Again, mentioned the wind a lot. The wind plays a big factor here at CSM.
So it's runners at first and third. One down here in the bottom of the sixth. Florio looking to add on to the legacy lead. First pitch. Low, ball one. Florio's fourth time around the order. On deck, the new catcher, Matteo Blandino, the other D1 player on the legacy roster. 1-0 pitch comes. High, ball two. Really, today it's just kind of been a perfect storm of things for the legacy. Pitching staff has been great. The lineup has been lights out. It's exactly what you were looking for on this Friday night game. Who gets the swing and miss. Catcher or gets away from him. Managing to make the grab as the new shortstop for Bercovich.
Yeah, and you mentioned everything is just going right for the legacy so far, and you really see the base runners are really taking a big effect on this game, really pushing the agenda for the legacy.
Ringer, who's on at second, Wong at third. Both of them have some speed. We were talking about it. As it'll be 2-1, one down, 2 on here for the legacy. Pitch comes. Looked at for strike two, evens it up. Has a base open here. Crucially, that steal by Bittner eliminated the double play ball. It's forcing you to do a little more work here. 2-2 pitch comes. Swing and miss from Florio. A strikeout on the day for him. That brings up Matteo Blandino, the catcher.
Catcher number 28, Matteo Blandino.
Coming into the game. This will be his first at-bat against Bercovich tonight.
And Nate, this is one of the guys you really want to see up at the plate with runners in scoring position. We saw him a couple games ago really come through with runners in scoring position, get a couple RBIs.
Clutch hitter this season in his limited time with Menlo Park. Joined the team late as well. First pitch. Low, ball one. Blandino played his high school ball for Archbishop Mitty before committing to UC Davis, where he just wrapped up his freshman year. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, evens it up, 1-1. Was swinging for the fences there, huh?
Yeah, swinging for the fences, and it's something that's really interesting to see, especially up 9. But Blandino is trying to make something happen here.
2 outs, so a hit into the outfield wouldn't score the run. You're just looking to get what you can here if you're Blandino. Pitch comes away, 2-1. While at Archbishop Mitty, Blandino was a second-team All-WCAL. One of the most competitive leagues in the state. A lot of athletic powerhouses in that conference. 2-1. Low, ball 3. Blandino in a favorable count. Could be getting something to swing at here from the pitcher. The 3-1 pitch comes. High, ball 4, take your base. It's a 5-pitch walk to Blandino to load up the bases for Nick Thompson.
Yeah, that's a walk right there, Nate, but Blandino is a dangerous hitter. I was not surprised to see Perry really pitch around him, especially with the 9-hole guy on deck.
Right fielder, number
But
5,
Thompson's been having a great day here. Stolen some bases, gotten some hits. He's done it all today for the legacy.
Yeah, and he's hit from both sides of the plate now. Went from the right side, now he's on the left side.
First pitch. High, ball 1. Thompson, utility guy. Started the game out in third base, now in right field. Kind of talked about it earlier, but that's really so so amazing for you as a manager to have a guy who can hit from both sides, who can play in the infield, play in the outfield, even pitch for you if needs be.
Yeah, Nick White has got to love that. I mean, This guy, you can plug him in wherever you need, and he's going to get the job done.
Nick White, very familiar with him. Thompson plays his college ball over at San Francisco State, hits that one high into right field, and is caught out for the third out of the inning. No runs across the plate there for the Legacy. Stranded 3 runners there. It'll be 10-1 entering the top of the 7th. Welcome in here, top of the 7th. Score remains 10-1. Game's kind of slowed down here as we've gone into the latter part of the evening. Chris Walsh remains on the mound. They played Zach Gardner. First pitch. Away, ball 1. The sinker there from Walsh. Got himself into a bit of a scare last time around. Couple of runners on. No one advanced home, but got scary as that was a big swing and miss there from the Bercovich batter, 1-1.
Yeah, big swing and a miss. That was a really nice sinker right there from Chris Walsh. Just looks like it's going to start right over the heart of the plate. Sinks down under the barrel of the bat.
Walsh plays his college ball at this very field. Plays for CSM. Made 15 appearances, 26 innings total, and had 23 strikeouts. That's second best in the team with Ks per 9. Gets a strike there, 1 and 2. And strikes him out. Big punch out there for Walsh. Let's bring up the new Bercovich batter. The lefty digging in.
Tyler Kubo.
Tyler Kubo.
Tyler Kubo.
First pitch. Away, ball 1. Walsh. Came into the game last inning. Struck out a guy to start off this inning. We've got some changes in. Raul Soria in at first. To a pitch. Hit over to first. Drifting foul. It will go foul. 2-1 now. To Kubo.
You see she kind of coding.
He replaced Bittner.
Do you want to maybe explain what you're doing a little bit? Just one of the
New guy.
I actually just went this like 2 days ago, but
That's good. You're 2 days ahead of me.
2-1 to Kubo. Walsh to get the second out. Pitch goes away. Ball 3. Walsh, after striking out the last guy, getting behind in the count here to Kubo.
That was a ball, no outs, no runs.
3-1 pitch.
And then it keeps going.
Missed the zone for a 5-pitch Walsh. It's a batter on here in the top of the 7th.
No runs.
Yeah, Nate, we got a lot of defensive changes this past inning. Let's see if I can run them down for you. Tolbert's in left field. Now Tyler Wong is still in center field. And right field, Roman Trinidad is now in. Raul Soria is the first baseman now. John Ringer still stays in at second base. Now we got Stuart Cash moving from third to short. Nick Thompson moves back to third, and behind the plate is still Mateo Blandino.
Hope you got all those back home because I'm not sure if I did.
Yeah, we had to run through those real quick for all the fans and family keeping along over there at home.
I mean, but especially when the score is like this, 10-1, it's great to get everyone involved, go into, get some action for guys who weren't expecting to play today. Nick White, with such a deep roster, so many guys looking to get in and prove themselves in summer ball to learn more, get in-game at bats, and that's what he's doing today. Pitch comes, swing and miss, evens things up, 1-1.
Yeah, we see a lot of batters swinging and missing over that sinker here from Chris Walsh so far today.
Not as high as velocity as we've seen from other guys today, but it's still a pretty firm pitch for the league. 1-1 pitch comes and drops into the zone, 1-2.
That's a slider.
How can you tell that it was center just visually seen?
That was the slider there. I don't think that's what the Bercovich batter was expecting at all. Kind of hung him up there, 1-2. Walsh, with the teal glove, hits that one. Foul. Tracking, runs into the wall, makes the grab. What a play in right field.
And that is a great play out there by Roman Trinidad. It does move the runner over, but now the Legacy have 2 outs in the inning.
Now runner at third.
Batting number 19, Jackson Short.
Brings up Jackson Short. Got some work in pitching now. Staying in as a batter. Short was probably their most successful pitcher of the day so far. Didn't allow a run. Also relieved Busio. Pitch comes. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Walsh again. Confusing hitters with that sinker.
Yeah, that sinker's been really effective for him today. It almost looks like a changeup at times. It just completely drops off the table with how much vertical break he gets.
0-1, pieced into right center, tracking, and will be a hit. Scores a run, digging for 2. Short, who reaches, standing up. It will be a run double here to bring the Legacy lead to 8. It'll be 10-2 here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting number 22, Cole Joe.
Tough to give up a run with 2 outs, but Walsh does so right there.
Yeah, this is just like all the data I've compiled over the season.
Over the season?
Yeah.
Is it for
This is
the
for
pitcher?
the pitcher. Yeah.
It'll be new Bercovich batter. Walsh looking to get out of the inning right here. First pitch. High, ball 1. So we're looking ahead to our schedule. Legends playing the Crawdads right now. We'll also be playing them tomorrow.
Not really for sale. We just have to just play it.
That is hit high up.
Wear one temporarily?
Thompson, unable to get under it. It will be an infield hit. Excuse me, an error. Tough grab to make, but it will now be runners at first and third. For Bercovich, you look to keep this inning going.
And yeah, that's unfortunate for Chris Walsh right there. You really want to see him shake that off and just get to the next batter. Unfortunately, it does look like the wind took over right there. The ball kind of floated to the right side of Nick Thompson. Could not get his glove to make the play right there.
Wind's certainly picking up here as we get through the game. New batter hits that one towards the Legacy dugout, 0-1. As I was saying, Legends Play tomorrow against the Crawdads. The Legacy don't have a game. And then Sunday, we have a treat for you. It'll be a double header. Starting off with the Legends against the Sonoma Stompers at 12. And then at 3:30, it will be a rematch between the Legacy and Bercovich. Right here at CSM, we'll have all action for you live streamed on this very YouTube channel. It'll be 2-0 to the Bercovich batter. And that gets away from Walsh. It'll be another run. Another 2-out run for Bercovich. As well as ball 3 for Walsh, whose inning has certainly been a little more extended than what he was hoping for.
And yeah, that's really unfortunate, Nate. I mean, you see him, he thinks he's out of the inning there with that pop fly, and maybe as a pitcher, there's a switch that goes off in your brain after that. You know, he's not really locked in anymore. He's thrown 3 balls now, really looking for him to get back into this one.
2-1 here. Pitch comes in the zone. 2-2 evens it up. Runner at second. 1 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the 7th. Walsh looking to get out of the inning. Pitch comes. No, it doesn't. He steps off the mound. Checks in on the Bercovich base runner. 2 pitch goes. Hit high into left field, tracking, and it will be an awkward bounce. It'll be another run. Runner digs for 2. It will be a 2-out double.
And Nate, that's another unfortunate ball in play there for Chris Walsh. A ball that just kind of takes an awkward bounce, bounces away from Tolbert, allows the runner to get the extra base there.
It's been a really unlucky inning for Walsh.
Yeah, and unlucky, and it's really difficult to watch, especially seeing how not happy Chris Walsh is out on the mound. You really want to see him clear his head here and get back in the strike zone and get this last out.
It'll be another lefty here for Bercovich. Walsh pitches outside, ball 1. Sinker there, though, still has some punch to it. 81 on the gun for Walsh. Want to know? Hit high into center field. That will be the final out of the inning. 3 runs come across the plate for Bercovich, but the Legacy still command a 10-4 lead here as we enter the 7th inning stretch. Welcome in here, bottom of the 7th. It will be the top of the order for Menlo Park. Stuart Cash, Cooper Winton. It's on deck, that is. It'll be 1-0 to the shortstop. On a pitch. Inside ball 2. Cash already getting ahead here.
And really glad to see Nick White using his bench here today. Really getting a lot of those guys who have been sitting for a couple of days now, getting some at-bats, getting some reps in. Really good for a lot of the Menlo Park legacy players.
Well, I'm sure that's not how Cash wanted to reach on base. He gets hit there by the pitch. The leadoff man is on, brings up Cooper Winton.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 3, Cooper Winton.
The lefty. First pitch. Runner goes. It's Cash. He will be out at second. That is first time the Bercovich can really say that. They've really had a struggle containing these legacy base runners.
Yeah, maybe just a case of the score right there, 10-4. The umpire maybe just giving the benefit of the call right there to Bercovich.
Also helps when you have a person in the Bercovich honor screaming, "He's out!" before you make the call, and that is a big swing and miss there from Winton.
You know, we've seen a lot of these Bercovich pitchers really have those big, sweepy sliders. Saw it earlier, now we have Perry doing the same.
Winton, this is college ball for CSU Stanislaus. Limited action, only a hit on the year. That is ball 2. Before CSU Stanislaus went to Merced Junior College in Central Valley. 2-1 pitch to Winton. Hit, foul, evens it up, 2-2. Alex Tolbert on deck, another new player for.
And it does look like that extended the last half inning might spell the end of the day for Chris Walsh, who really did throw the ball well, besides that last half inning where things kind of got away from him after the unlucky pop fly drop. Does look like Christian Klosterman, who's been Nick White's kind of go-to guy at the back end of games, is warming up, ready to go for the legacy.
The full count here to Winton, looking to reach base. Pitch comes. And will be outside. Fourth ball there, the at-bat. Allows the runner to reach Lee Winton.
Number 37, Alex Tolbert.
Brings up Alex Tolbert.
Yeah, Alex Tolbert coming up, and last time we saw him was his first time coming to bat as a Menlo Park legacy player. Hit a foul ball that almost stayed fair on his first pitch he ever saw as a legacy player.
Yeah, has some pop for sure. As that one gets away. Sliding in. And he will be out at second for the second straight time.
That might be a case right there of Cooper Winton getting greedy, trying to take the extra base on the dirt ball right there. Up 6 now. Kind of a tough out to make right there on the bases. Second time the legacy have been caught on the bases.
So it'll be 2 outs to Alex Tolbert, who hits that one hard to third base. 100 miles an hour off the bat, but doesn't matter. That'll be the third out of the inning. No runs come across the plate for the legacy. It'll be 10-4 entering the top of the 8th. Expecting to see a new arm for Menlo Park. Welcome in here at top of the 8th. New arm for Miller Park. It'll be Christian Klosterman into the game. Klosterman, as Victor talked about last inning, kind of one of the go-to guys to close out games for Menlo Park. There'll be 6 outs to a legacy win. First pitch. Hit hard to second base, but the play will be made. And a 1 pitch for Klosterman results in the first out of the inning.
Number 28, Caden Wild.
Good play by the second baseman, Ringer. Klosterman working with a 5-pitch mix, sinker, fastball, curveball, changeup, and slider. That's a called strike 1 there. The fastball.
Thomas Wilson.
The 1 pitch. Fouled off, 0-2. Klosterman plays his college ball just down the road at Kenyatta. Was 3rd best for Kenyatta in Ks per 9, 8.31.
And Nate, I hear you bring up that K per 9 number a lot. Seems like something that manager Nick White really values.
2 count. Hit right to Klosterman, who tried to make the play instead. The shortstop, Cash, throws at the first, but the runner beats the throw, showing some speed there. Unlucky for Klosterman, perhaps.
Yeah, and really unlucky, but also really lucky that it did not hit his pitching hand. Don't really see that too often going on where the pitcher reaches out with his bare hand. Usually see the glove hand there protecting the pitching hand.
Instead, Klosterman trying to show that he can bare-hand it. First pitch here. Fouled off, 0-1. This is a big game, as we were kind of talking about earlier. These two teams kind of battling out for lead in the BACL. I think before today, the Legacy were half a game behind. Now, if the lead holds, they'll take a half-game lead. They'll have an opportunity to increase that on Sunday against Bercovich.
Yeah, and if you're the Legacy right now, you got to be feeling really great. I mean, this is the team you're chasing in the standings, and you just put up 10 on them, and you're up 6 going into the late innings.
Definitely a boost when they'll be your next opponents on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. here at CSM. And then the Legacy after that won't return to CSM until the 6th of July. And is now 2-1 to Klosterman. And then just a week away for them, in fact, it's the BACL All-Star Game. So I'm sure we'll see a few of these guys playing in that. 2-1 pitch comes. Swing and a miss. Evens it up, 2-2. Who are some guys that you could expect in the All-Star Game for Menlo Park?
Yeah, I mean, you could expect to see guys like Dom Nahar out there. I mean, he's having a great season. A lot of stolen bases. Off the top of my head, Tyler Wong has been absolutely crushing the ball.
That was one of my first
for the
thoughts.
Legacy. On the pitching side of things, I mean, we saw Jesus Mangoya maybe right now on the mound. Christian Klosterman's having a pretty nice season, putting together a lot of holds for Nick White's bullpen.
The full count here. The Bercovich batter. Who looks at the pitch there for strikeout number 1 on the day for Klosterman. For the second out of the inning. Klosterman showing why Nick White might manage that K per 9 stat right there. Brings up Kubo to the plate again. The lefty, 2 outs, 1 on. Looks at that one for strike 1. As for Legends, they're playing the Crawdads right now, as that is fouled off 0-2. We'll also be playing the Crawdads again tomorrow. That's a crucial series right there. These teams played each other 3 times last week. Now playing each other again, this time out in Walnut Creek.
Yeah, really crucial series out there for Christaboo's ball club. A ball club that's been playing a little bit, scuffling a little bit as of late, but they picked up the win last night. Really hoping to continue that.
Struggling to find some consistencies. They win one game, they lose another. The offense is red hot. The next night, they're just silent. Pitching staff's been struggling as well, as that is the third out of the inning. Great play by Blandino at the plate. Caught the runner stealing. When we return, it will be the middle of the legacy order to the plate. Welcome in here, bottom of the 8th. It'll be Tyler Wong to the plate to start things off here. Maybe the only guy besides Nick Thompson who hasn't gotten subbed out today. I mean, for good reason. He's been absolutely thrashing it. Menlo Park. First pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1. To Wong. The mounds now is... That is rolled ball. It's Cole Jones, the new pitcher, into the game for Bercovich. Played some center field as well. So that one is fouled off 1-2. Jones getting ahead early. 1-2. So Wong started off as a DH, now in the outfield. Fouls that one off, 1-2. One and two to Wong once again. Jones trying to get the first out of the inning. As that'll be ball 2, evens it up to Wong. Wong plays his college ball for the Tufts Jumbos on the East Coast. Fouled that one off, staying alive. Couldn't roll the ball, though. Count remains 2-2 to Wong. Before playing the Tufts, he played his high school ball for Sacred Heart. Hits that one right to the third baseman, trying to beat the throw. Will not. First out of the inning. As that brings up John Ringer to the plate.
Now batting the second baseman, number 6, John Ringer.
Ringers flashed the glove a couple times today. Trying to get the bat going here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch to Ringer. High in the zone. Outside of his zone, excuse me, 1-0.
And we see Jones bringing a little bit more of the heat. Some of the firmer stuff we've seen from the Bercovich honors this afternoon.
Something that we have noticed today about Bercovich. They have guys that can do a lot of stuff for you. We've seen guys that start off in the field, then make their way onto the mound.
And I bet Coach Mike loves that for the Bercovich honors.
It'll be 2-0 here. And that one misses 3 balls on 3 pitches from Jones. Ringer. Probably not going to swing here. And does it. Looks at that one for strike 1. Ringer, the Norwich University infielder, looks at that one for ball 4. Takes his base. It'll be a 1-out walk to bring up Roman Trinidad. Trinidad had a well-hit ball into right field.
Now batting the right fielder, number 20, Roman Trinidad. Roman Trinidad.
Trinidad facing Cole Jones for the first time all day. First pitch, outside, away, ball 1. Trinidad, the Cal commit, played his high school ball for St. Francis. Having Lancers of old and Lancers of new in the lineup today for Nick Whiteside. Count is even up, 1-1, 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Pitch comes. Outside, ball 2. Trinidad gets ahead of Jones. 2-1 to the lefty. Hit hard. And will be a hit for Trinidad. Runner digs for third. He will be safe. And it gets away from him. Digging for home. He will be siding in for a run. Ringer goes from first to home to bring the lead to 11-4. Brings up Raul Soria to the plate. A lefty is Jones.
Now batting the first baseman, Raul Soria.
And there'll be a mound visit, in fact. We'll be right back shortly. Back in here. Bottom of the 8th. Raul Soria at the plate. Runner on second is... That is fouled off 0-1.
And we always see Raul Soria taking some big hacks up there every time he steps up to the plate.
That was exciting to see. Also has a good eye on him. He's taken a few walks recently. It'll be 0-1 to Soria. In the zone, 0-2, quickly gets ahead. Jones, exactly what he needed after that mistake by his field. I mean, if you're looking at the scoreboard right now, you see that they have 5 errors to go with 12 hits. That's not going to win you a game, is it?
Yeah, the Legacy have put up 11 runs, but a lot of those have been a lot of freebies given over by Bercovich. Definitely not something Coach Mike would like to see.
As a lot of those errors came in the 4th inning when Horacio Bucio came into the game. As it'll be 1-2, 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Seems that was actually when Cohen was in the game. 3 errors on his first 3 balls in play in a 28-pitch second inning. 1-2, 1 on, 1 out here for the Legacy. Pitch comes. Misses the zone, evens it up 2-2.
And that's some great concentration right there by Cole Jones. I mean, the shortstop really yelled step off, and then he didn't step off, and he still fired a pretty nice pitch, a pitch that didn't get away from him.
2-1 here. 2-2, excuse me. Soria. It'll be strike 3. Looking big strike out there for Jones to get the second out of the inning.
Big strikeout for Jones. Like you mentioned, Soria's taking a little bit of a different approach as of late. He's taking a lot more pitches, and that pitch right there just caught the strike zone.
Brings up Mateo Blandino, digging in from the right-hand side. Catcher for UC Davis. Dropped by the catcher. Trinidad digs for home, but heads back.
Yeah, Trinidad always the aggressive base stealer right there, trying to push the agenda right there, maybe get the catcher thinking a little bit. It looks like the ball maybe went through his glove. He might have to go find a new glove as he heads into the dugout.
That sure appears to be the case. Runner at third is Trinidad. And I certainly wasn't expecting him to head for home, but he was ready for it.
Yeah, and you always have to be as a base runner. You never know when the catcher's going to be paying attention, so Trinidad, a lot of good base running going on.
It did feel like the catcher kind of fell asleep there, but Cole Jones hustled over to home plate, and the catcher noticed just in time. It'll be 1-0 to Blandino. Always a threat to get a hit. Pitch comes. Low, ball 2. Trinidad thought about stealing home there. Instead heads back. Ball 3. That's the second time this season that we've seen someone thinking about stealing home here for the Legacy. I remember Dom Nahara tried a couple weeks ago, but the hitter struck out. He would have been safe at the plate.
Yeah, the Legacy are always trying to find new ways to find the bleeding edge, essentially, on the base paths as they're trying to steal home a lot this season. And right there, I think it was just kind of a fake steal for Trinidad.
3-1. Finds his own. 3-2. Maybe a little unlucky there for Blandino, as Jones is just a strike away from getting out of the inning. On deck, Thompson. 3-2. Down, low, ball 4. Take your base. We'll bring up Nick Thompson, the utility man. Started out in third. Moved over to the outfield. Now back at third base for the Legacy. As it'll be Blandino at first. Trinidad at third. On deck is Cash. First pitch. Fouled off. 0-1. The 0-1 here. So Thompson digging in from the left-hand side. We've seen him hit from both sides today. Just many options that he can give you. And that almost hits him.
And trying to backfoot a slider right there and almost literally backfooted him right there. Nick Thompson is able to skate out of the way.
Evens the count up at 1-1. Runners on the corner, high, ball 2. 2-1, 2 on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Legacy already scored 1 run this inning. Their first since the 4th. Someone misses ball 3. Three-one pitch to Thompson. Hit hard to the second baseman, who fumbles with the ball. It will be out at second. Maybe Blandino should have slid in there as that ends the inning.
With Legacy, 1 run on 1.
When we return, Legacy looking to get the final 3 outs of the game as they control an 11-4 lead heading into the top of the 9th. Welcome in here, top of the 9th inning. New arm into the game. It'll be Quentin Selway for the Legacy. Selway looking to close things out here.
Yeah, a guy that likes his fastball. Although he does throw a variety of different types of fastballs. He'll throw the cutter, the fastball, the sinker, and then he'll also feature a slider and a changeup. A full arsenal for Quentin Selway.
A lot of guys with 5 pitches for the team. That one is low, ball 2. Selway just finished his first year at Cabrillo College. Made 3 appearances for them. And again, another guy I can get you some punch-outs. And only 3 appearances. Had a few Ks on the year. It's Blandino and Selway trying to get on the same page here. 2-0 to the Bercovich batter. Pitch comes. Misses the zone. 3 pitches, 3 balls. Not how you want to start your top of the 9th.
Yeah, really discouraging if you're Nick White. I mean, you really want to see Quentin Selway just get through a quick 9th here, up 7 runs.
It's the first strike of the inning there for him. 3-1 now. Selway before Brio College, as he walks the first man up in 5 pitches. Played his high school ball at St. Thomas More School over in San Francisco. Brings up Jackson Short, who had a nice hit in the last time we've seen him.
Yeah, nice hit and nice stuff on the mound. I mean, we've seen a lot of these Bercovich players go out on the mound and stay in the lineup.
I would say Short has been the most effective of those today. First pitch looked at for strike 1. So, if the lead holds for Menlo Park, they will take sole control of first place in league standings. That really is an advantage to them. It's just in a few weeks they'll have playoffs. I know that's so far away. That is hit high into right field. First out of the inning for Menlo Park.
Yeah, Nate, you're talking about the standings. It's really good to see the legacy come out here and just put some wins up. I mean, we saw at the beginning of the season it was a real struggle. Went out to Lincoln, really struggled out there. Went out to Sonoma, really struggled. Now in BACL play, they're winning a lot of games. Really glad to see that from Nick White's ball club.
That is the first out of the 9th inning. Legacy now 2 outs away from getting the win over Bercovich. First pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1 Selway. Showing some of that swing and miss stuff. 85, tough to catch up to.
Yeah, 85. And that's the max we've seen from Quentin Selway so far. 85 is the previous recorded 85 right there.
0-1, 1 on, 1 out. Misses his own 1-1. And especially a transition for the batters for Bercovich. The last guy they saw featured some slower stuff. Now, Selway. That is barreled in the left field. And it'll get over the head. Runner digs. It'll be a 1-out double for Bercovich. 2 in scoring position now. They're looking to get a little bit of a comeback here.
Batting number 17, Aiden Perry.
Unable to make the grab in left field was Alex Tolbert. And crucially, with that extra base hit, Selway doesn't have the double play ball in effect. So he takes his time, slowing down the game. Time is called. Blandino wanting to talk.
Yeah, and Quentin Selway being a little cautious here. I mean, you see him shaking off Blandino a couple of times. Really not what you want to see from as your pitching coach. Up 7 runs, you really just want to see him just throw fastballs in there, maybe throw a couple off speed, but really just pound the zone and get a couple of quick outs here. Those runners on scoring position do not matter right now.
First pitch finds its own 0-1. Good one there for Selway. As you said, just pound the zone with fastballs. Does so there. 85 on the gun, right down the middle. 0-1. Hit up to second. Great play for the second out of the inning. That was John Ringer making the sliding grab.
Now batting number 34, Noah Garcia.
Comes up, the final out. The plate, Noah Garcia, as Selway looks to finish the game here. First pitch, swinging, fouled off, 0-1.
Yeah, and it's good to see Quentin Selway make an adjustment here. We saw a lot of four-seam fastballs to begin the inning. Now we're seeing him go to the sinker a little bit more, maybe getting some arm side run, getting those ground balls as we saw with the last batter.
0-1 pitch, 2 outs, 1 on. It's hit up the middle. Shortstop gets a glove on it. Garcia just kind of struts the first to score another run here for Bercovich. Runner at first is Garcia.
Number 35, Luca Bucknell.
Brings up Luca Bucknell. Garcia on first, Selway. He's given up 2 runs here in the inning. Looking to just get out of it now. First pitch. High, ball 1. Oh, pitch comes right to Ringer. That will be your ball game. Legacy. The bats were hot. And that carried Menlo Park to an 11-6 win over Bercovich Honors. 11-6. They'll have the off day tomorrow before they'll be back here to face Bercovich once again Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Legends also have a game that day at 12. Join us for both of them of action on this channel. For Victor Martinez, everyone else here at Legends Baseball, I've been Nate Martin. Thank you so much.